Hello, in this episode you see how I go from this to almost finishing the valley. So it now looks like this. Let's roll the intro. Hello and welcome back to Chapel Station and episode 37 of building my first model railway. Before I start, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who's been watching, commenting, liking and subscribing to my videos. Obviously I've been away for a while, so I've only started making videos in the last month or two, but the feedback's been brilliant. And if you haven't done so already, can I please ask you to hit that thumbs up and to subscribe to the channel, because I know it's only about a third of my viewers actually subscribe. And obviously that goes a long way to helping promote the channel itself. But thanks anyway to everyone who has already done that, and yeah, it's been brilliant. So in this episode, as you'd have seen from the intro, I actually get to get rid of all that white and paint it and make the layout look somewhat more realistic now. So yeah, a lot of painting in this episode, finishing the rock face, which was really good, really pleased with that. And then getting on to put a load of scatter down, and I actually get to do some static grass as well for the first time, which I haven't done before. So a lot of progress in this episode, had a lot of fun, learned a few things as well, and hopefully you might learn a few things from my mistakes or what went well for me. But yeah, so I'm going to start by painting the cliff face itself with a base grey. I forgot to video the intro to that, so I'm going to do it now. So yeah, I just basically get a light grey to paint the bark, just so there's a base colour to start with. I do use some reference pictures of a valley near me, which has got a bit of a rock face, so so I've got something to go for, and I'll put a few pictures of those in here. And then I get on to painting it grey, which you can just see in the time lapse here, and then get on to actually paint the rest of the layout. So hopefully it goes well, and let's see how I get on. Okay, so while I'm waiting for the grey rock faces to dry, I thought I'd start painting the base colour for the rest of the layout. Like most people do, I'm just going to paint it in brown. I'm going to have a darkish brown over the whole of the area that I'm going to put the scatter on. Just going to mix some, Americana acrylic paint. This is, looking for the colour, it's burnt sienna, and just a black acrylic paint as well. Mix them together in a pot, get some nice dark brown, and then paint that over a lot of the white areas that are going to eventually have some scatter or static grass on it. I'll give this a good mix up and then paint over all the ground cover. So now I've finished painting everything brown as the undercoat. I'm just not happy with the side piece on top of the tunnel. Mainly this is the glue, so just the paint hasn't really gripped to it, and it's still pretty rough and ready. And although I'm going to grass it, I want it to look like a slightly smoother field. And you can see this side as well. This is a bit better. So what I've done is I've just put some filler, and then I've mixed some brown paint and a bit of PVA in it as well. It's a flexible filler because I know the top will move around a bit. So I'm just going to spread that out, spread that over these joints a bit, and wait for that to dry, and hopefully that will just finish it off slightly better before I get to put the grass and flock and all that on it. So I'm just going to mix up a bit of darker grey to put on the rocks, just to give them a bit of variation and a bit more colour. So I'm just putting this dark grey on in places just so that the light grey shows through, and dabbing it on. Where I've got a bit too much, I'm using the paper towel just to dab off the excess, because I don't want it to completely cover all the light grey underneath. I've also put a bit of burnt sienna just to add a little bit of colour to the rocks. The dark grey wash now on and dry. I'll just zoom in closely. So it sort of worked, picked out some of the variations in the rocks. So the next job now is to put a black wash over it that hopefully will pick out even the finer details. So for the black wash, I've got just a small little dab of this black Americana acrylic paint. And then I'm just going to pour in quite a bit of water. And give it a good mix up. Make it really runny. Yeah, looks about right. Okay, so I've got plenty of paper towel ready. Got my wash ready. It's the scary bit now, to pour it all over all the rocks that I've nurtured so far. So I'm just using the brush to put the wash on, starting from the top and letting it pour down. Trying to get it to go into all the little nooks and crannies and cracks, just to emphasise and bring those out, and then obviously soaking up any excess and just spreading it about. A little bit scary, but hopefully it'll be fine once it dries. There's a lot of black everywhere. Dabbing it up, brushing it on. I don't know how much just to leave in place, or interesting to see how it dries. But it's a very thin wash, so you may not even see it when it dries. So we'll have to wait till the morning and see how we get on. So to finish my rock face off, again, following the tips from Charlie and a few others on YouTube, I'm just doing some dry brushing with, I think they normally use white, but I've just got this very light grey, and I'm just dabbing it on this tissue. And then, as you can see over here, then literally just dry brushing across the edges of the rocks. Don't know if you can see that, but in a downward motion, just to pick out. It just brings a bit more depth to it after the grey wash. I'm thinking it's hard to know when to stop with this and not overdo it, but so I'm thinking about there now. You can just see those little edges. If I zoom back a little bit, it seems to put a bit of life to it. So now I just need to put some flock in around the browns and that, and just blend in that area. And then that's... So what I'm going to do now is put some scatter between the rocks, just to finish that area off. And as you can see, what I've got, sorry for the jerky camera, I've just got a mixture of scatters. I've got mid green, I've got dark green, I've got a scatter brown, got a bit of a mixture that I've hoovered up in the past. So I'm just going to put a bit of PVA. It's pretty neat. I've just put a little bit of water in it to make it a little bit more runny. Going to brush that just between the rocks, and then put some scatter on there. And hopefully that will just finish it off quite nicely, that area itself. Now this is coming out on the video. It's quite hard to get onto the flat face. I'm just blowing some, putting on this book and this magazine, blowing some on. That's the next morning. Most of the PVA is dried. I'll just give you a bit of a close up so you can see what it looks like now. It's got some scatter. I just did a mixture of scatter. I didn't do it too thick, so I wanted some of the brown to show through because it is still a bit of a rock face. And then the piece in front, I've just done more earthy. That's still a bit damp. I'm hoping it's going to dry a bit lighter. It's a bit dark, but it's going to be like a parking area with a view over the valley. and probably a little snack van there as well. Got quite a few of those in Jersey where you can park up and get a sandwich or a burger, should I say, and enjoy the view. So yeah, quite pleased with that. Next stage now is to continue around doing the rest of the valley. I've got my little Dyson there, which is great for picking up. I've just given it a hoover. It's great for picking up all the bits, and if you clean it out before you start, then it's just a matter of collecting it, and then you can reuse the grass and scatter afterwards, which is what I plan on doing. So I'll just keep going and show you what it looks like when it's finished. Okay, so that's it all. Let's put the hoover down. That's the whole of the area now with lots of scatter on it. It's almost dry completely. Probably need to give it a few more hours, but it's getting there now. I'm just going to pan back so you can see the rock here over there, then up by the riverbed, parking area, then the rock. Top's taken off because I've done that as well, and that's just outside in the other room drying. And I've done all the way along here as well, down to here. So yeah, as a starter, I'm pretty pleased with that. So just gotta wait for my static applicator to come, and I can static grass applicator to come, mouthful, and then I can just finish it off. And then there's some bushes and bits I want to put in the corners, and just to, just to add more depth to it. Few trees. Quite excited. My static grass applicator has finally arrived, so I can do some static grass now on the layout as well. It isn't a posh make, it's just one I bought online, probably come from China, and there is some basic instructions, which, as I say, a lot of it is in Chinese, but hopefully that will do the job. So I've got a bit of static grass that I was just using scatter, so I can now put it in here and see if it actually goes on and sort of stands up like the grass should. So let's see how it works on the layout. Okay, so I thought I'd just do a bit of static grass on this bit just to see if it works, really, see how it goes. I haven't really got any proper fixing glue, so I'm just got a bit of watered down PVA I'm going to put on. And I'm going to put some of the static grass that I've got. I've got some summer static grass and spring. So I think just put a little bit of summer on there and just see how it goes on. I'm a little bit nervous because I accidentally touched that just now and it gave me quite a shock. So I know that it works. I don't know if I was accidentally pressing this button, because when you press that the light comes on. So I assume that's when it's charged. But yeah, I just touched the metal grid and it gave me a bit of a whack. So a little bit nervous of it now. So I'm just gonna, it says fill it half full, but I don't want to do that yet because I just want to check that it does work and see how it looks. So I haven't put a great deal in there. Just get the brush and a bit of PVA. I've seen lots of people do this on their layouts and it does look fantastic, so I'm hoping that this will really help finish off the valley. So I think I just press the button. You have to hold this near it, I think. And shake it. It's gone. I probably need to put more in, so. Okay, I'm gonna take the camera down and then just have a zoom in and see if we can see it on the camera close up. So this is what it was like before. And then this is the area of the static grass. I can't say I notice it. It is only 2 mil. I suppose it, you know, it's standing up a bit. Probably not as, almost not as much as I thought. But then I suppose grass is natural, so it doesn't normally lay down. Sorry for the jerky camera. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm going to go over and do a bit more on the field and a bit more on this bank because that's where I want the grass, and then I'll probably run out of grass anyway. So yeah, give me your feedback and let me know what you think. Do you think it looks better? So that's my tunnel top all dry and complete. So now let's put that in place. The best way to do that is to get my arm inside. I can ease it down a bit into position. Hopefully without damaging it. Sorry if my head's in the way of the camera. There we go. Pretty much there. Yeah, so I think that looks okay actually. Well, I thought I'd better give you an update because I really have got a bit carried away. Once I'd done a bit of static grass up here, I then decided to try and blend the edge in a bit. So I've just been putting various bushes and bits along the top edge there. Then I put a new little retaining wall here and a bit of growth up there to block that corner, and then some bushing. I really just raided what I had left, bits of old bush I'd made up myself and bits I bought, just to try and blend in that top. And then I've planted a big tree in the corner almost to hide the corner, although it's actually higher than the shelf. But you know, it just hides the fact there is a sort of corner there. And then I'll probably do the same here. I'm not sure, I quite like the fact that you can see just over the distance of the hill. So if it's here and you can see into the distance, so I might just put a bit up in the corner there, or I may leave it, I'm not sure yet at the moment. Be interested to see what you think. Not got enough hedging to do it today anyway, so give me some comments and feedback. Do you think, if I pan back, do you think I should put bushes up the other side as well, or should I leave it so you can sort of see a distant view of the hills? And then I put another tree in here, and I got found some dried sand, so I've scattered some sand on it because it just didn't look gravelly enough for me for a sort of parking area. So yeah, been busy really, beavering away. Hadn't filmed any, so I thought I'd better quickly stop and grab the camera and just show you. If I just swing round, sorry for the camera movement, but you'll remember this is the bit I did earlier on this evening with the static grass. I'm not sure about it, to be honest. It may be because it's only got 2 mil, so it doesn't really notice that much. Or maybe just because it's a rubbish static grass applicator, to be honest. And you have to be a bit careful when you're applying the static grass, I've noticed, because it can just make it a bit too uniform. You know, the good thing with scatter, when you're putting different scatters on in different areas and different thicknesses, that you get that variation that you do have in land. I mean, on this top here, you can definitely see that ridge, but I'm going to actually put a fence around there and sort of almost emphasise the ridge. So this can be an area where I can have some sheep or cattle or something, and then that can be almost to sort of stop people getting to the cliff top. So almost a bit of feature of it. So I think this is probably a good place to stop for this episode. Well done if you've made it to the end of this video. I'm going to finish just with a few trains running over the viaduct and through the tunnel, which I haven't done since I put it all in, so it'd be good to see it working. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll speak to you again soon.